How to slate, scene 1, take 1, marker. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today what I wanted to talk to you all about is slating. Now, yes, to address the elephant in the room, I did make a video about slating years ago, but I felt like it was in need of an update. So here's the update. Alright, anyway, so what exactly is the basic concept of slating? What is the purpose? Well, the basic concept is you write information on this board right here, the slate, then you clap the sticks together at the top here to make a clap sound that can be used for synchronization to multiple cameras and audio and all that. Okay, so for example, you could use that if you were shooting, say, film, which from what I'm aware, I believe is always, like 35mm film is always silent, the actual recording process. So you would, record separate sound, which you really want to do, I think, anyway, for most production. And then you would use your clap, right? Maybe I didn't get it the frame the first time, but you use one of those to sync up your sound. So as you can see here, I have a roll, a scene, and a take. Now, your first scene would be like 1A, 1, and then your second shot of the first scene would be 1A, and then 1B, and so forth. You can work your way all the way through the alphabet. This is based on guidance I've seen online and also stuff I think makes sense to do. And one of those things is do not use letters Z, I, and O because they can look like zeros and ones and such. So, for your scene here, okay? For your roll, this is what card you're on. In the old days, it would have been what roll of film. That's where it gets the name roll from. But of course, these days, we're shooting on all kinds of digital stuff. I'm shooting right now on my camera to a card because, again, I live in the year 2023 where we shoot digitally mostly. And so right now, I'm recording to my first card, my card A1. So I put slate on my slate A1 for the roll, so I know what card this is on. If you're running multiple cameras, you can do like A1 and B3 and so forth. And if you're shooting 4 cameras, the convention from what I've seen usually is A, B, C, and X. So X is the 4th camera, and then A, B, and C obviously is kind of self-explanatory, right? And then to a certain extent, there's different things about this that you'll see, but like production's always on here, right? You might see the frame rate, stuff like that. Cameras, the director of photography on the production, directors, obviously the director, date, different people for different productions. Like I said, different like directors and such may want different information on their slates. So for example, day, night, all that. Like I don't use this stuff very often. The date I'll use, sometimes I'll use director and camera, but it's usually the roll, the camera, the roll for what cameras are rolling, the scene, and the take number. And so that's how I would do it. Now, if you're doing multicam, there's really a couple options. One is you could come in and if all the cameras can see in one location, you could do something like this. This is scene 1, take 1, A, B, C, and X cameras marker. Clap the slate together and get out of there. And that way all your 4 cameras sync up to that one clap of the slate. Now, I have seen like BTS footage and stuff where that happens, but you may have a situation, right, where, hey, I have some cameras that I cannot do that with. Okay, well, you got a couple different options. One, you could tail slate at the end and have them all pull out to like a wide shot or something so they can all see. But another option, because we'll get to tail slate in a minute if you don't want to do that, or for whatever reason you can or whatever. Another option instead of tail slating is you can slate for each camera. So I could go, for example, instead of doing that, let's say cameras A and B can see, and C and X can see the same thing. So in that case, I would go something like, this is scene 1, take 1, A, B marker, right? And then I could just come over to the other cameras. Let's say over here is as C and X, C and X camera marker, right? Something like that. So, and then okay, and post, okay, these cameras over here are the second slate. These cameras over here are the first one, right? Now, tail slating, I did allude to that, but what is that? Well, you'll come in with the slate upside down like this, and you'll just read it, and then you'll clap it and flip it. So in this case, that would look something like, take 1, scene 1, tail marker, and then you turn it this way, and then camera can cut, okay? Now, what about, like I said, with the letters on the scene? Let's say that I'm going to do scene 1, apple, why not? 1A, okay? So we got scene 1A here. So I'd come in, let's say we're slating it like this, and let's say we're slating it for multiple cameras. We'd come in potentially and do something like this. This is scene 1 alpha, take 1, A, B, C, and X camera marker. Clap the slate and get out of there, right? So that's kind of the general gist of it, the overall stuff. The only other thing I'm really going to touch on here, because it's kind of just an overview, I'll put a link in the description to more detailed stuff about this, including these videos which I referenced as kind of trying to build this information. And then it's also based on, like I said, my own experience, but working on my own set. That's really the only set I've been on, but anyway. So what we'll do if that we have a problem, let's say that I clap my slate down here and you couldn't see it. Okay, well, what we're going to do is I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to say second sticks and clap it like that. That way we let the editor know, okay, listen, that first one was a oops, we can't use that. That was a mistake. We can't use it for synchronization, right? So, you know, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I would say is the fact that as far as like marker goes, the reason you say that at the end that I've always heard, and I think it makes a lot of sense, is, you know, sometimes you'll have sounds that sound similar to a clap of a slate, but are not the clap of the slate. And so you want to make very clear, listen, this is a marker right here. So if we say tail marker or we say marker, then everybody knows, okay, in the computer, this is definitely our marking point. So again, that's something that makes a lot of sense. One last thing, I just find slates really cool. Maybe I'm the only one out there, but ever since I can remember, I've just thought slates was cool looking. So anyway, especially those time code slates. Anyway, that's regardless. I almost forgot. Did I mention that the A, B, and all that? Well, let me tell you a little secret. You should say a word for that, right? So that way it makes sense. And like some people I've seen, like, again, I'll link the videos here, are like, oh, you know, kind of got to read the room, and I think this makes sense. Like with me and my friend Billy, we're doing mostly funny stuff, and we're making each other laugh between takes all the time when me and him are filming. And it's usually me and him are filming, and that's usually who I'm working with, just myself and Billy. So I don't have a problem with us having some fun with the slates. So there's actually a blooper. If I can find it, I'll cut it in here.
To Bananarama, take 1.
To Bananarama, take 1. Okay, here we go. And I just thought that was so hilarious, and I just start laughing, and it's fun. But some stuff, maybe not so much, right? So you kind of got to read the room. I'm going to clap my slate directly next to my ears or somebody else's ears. I might come in, because I don't want to disturb them, and I might go, this is scene 1 alpha, take 1, soft sticks. And then I can just barely clap it, right? And instead of having this huge clap, which is like, we just get a very gentle, and I like to do it like this, soft sticks clap, right? And you say soft sticks so that way, again, the editor knows, hey, it's going to be quieter, got to listen for it, and, you know, kind of pay more attention. Well, anyway, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts is about slates. Do you want to use a timecode slate with your production? Do you just use good old-fashioned dry erase marker slate like I do, because they're way cheaper? What do you do? Let me know, and thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see y'all again very soon. Goodbye, everybody!